So, we continue our journey in the interpretation of international tables page. So, we go down the page and in this part we will discuss the origin. So, in part 1 we already looked at the header, which is this part, which gives the basic information about the space group, and then in part 2 we discussed the symmetry diagram, which was this one. In part 3 we looked at the general position diagram, which was this diagram. So, if we continue the journey down the page, the next item you can see is the origin statement, and it is telling origin at the center 2 by m at CC 2 by m. So, let us see how to interpret this information. So, origin statement is very important, because for example, the next items as you can see coming is the symmetry operations. So, these symmetry operations data, and on the next page we will see Wyckoff positions. So, the Wyckoff position data, these depend upon our choice of origin. So, origin choice is very important and has to be paid attention. So, let me just copy this origin statement and paste it here for quick reference. So, here I have pasted origin at center, this description, and we will try to relate it to the diagram, the symmetry diagram shown here. So, you can see the by convention the origin is always taken, this O is the origin. Let me use a different color. So, O is the origin. So, upper left corner is usually taken to be the origin in the diagram. So, there we have the origin. However, one could have chosen origin at other locations. So, the location of the origin is important. What is being given here, that origin is at the center. Center means center of inversion. So, you can see that in the symmetry here we have a two-fold axis shown, and inside that two-fold axis there is a hole. It is not completely black, there is a white dot. So, that white dot represents the center of inversion. There is more detail about the center of more detail about the origin, and which is given here. So, it says it gives the site symmetry of the origin. So, site symmetry, it is saying that origin is at 2 by m. So, it is a center, but that center is actually at 2 by m. 2 by m means a two-fold, that black lens represents a two-fold perpendicular to the plane of the projection, and by m is a perpendicular mirror, which in this diagram as you can see is shown by this symbol here, because if the two-fold is perpendicular to the plane of the mirror, then the mirror itself will be parallel to the plane, and in this case it is passing through the plane, it is coinciding with the plane, because no height is shown. So, no height is shown means it is at 0 height, that means it is coinciding with the plane of projection. So, that is a two-fold axis with a perpendicular mirror plane. Now, there is a further information given here, that the symmetry at this location is C C 2 by m. So, let us see this. This is an orthorhombic group. So, the three numbers, the three symbols correspond to the A axis, B axis and C axis. So, what it is saying that at the origin perpendicular to the A axis there is a C glide plane. Now, as you can see, this is my A axis. So, perpendicular to A axis is this plane, and you can see that this plane is shown by dotted lines. So, there is a C glide there. So, perpendicular to the A axis you have a C glide. Similarly, perpendicular to the B axis also you have a C glide, and parallel to the C axis you have a two-fold, and perpendicular to the C axis you have mirror plane. So, that is the last item shown there. So, a complete symmetry description and the location of the origin is given in the international table, and one has to carefully study that to make sure that one is aware about the origin of the space group one is working with. Thank you very much.